For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe BORG on 0414 429 391. Gday Maltaussies show. I'm Joe BORG and I'm going to be with you for another week, and I trust that you're going to enjoy the show. Sunday, we're going to have bingo at the HAMRUN Club, 100 Jackson Street, Marsden Park. We're going to have free muffins, coffee, or tea, and we have 15 games, and you win good prizes, which is money. So all electronically, computerized. So when you come, enjoy playing the games and you win some money. Who knows? See you at 3:30. We're going to open the show with a beautiful song by Maryrose Mallia, Festa, Feast.
Al
When Mark was in Malta, he went to the hotels, and of course, he's going to tell us all about it.
Back that I've seen is some people do complain about the lack of on-site parking. So if you're renting a car, that could be a minor thing for you to think about. But otherwise, if you're looking for a budget-friendly option, then you can't really go wrong with the Osborne Hotel. Now let's move on to Sliema and St Julian's. If planning your first holiday to Malta, these two locations, I'm pretty sure, will likely be on your radar. Restaurants, good shops, ferries, nightlife, great sea views, it's all there. It's busy, lively, and it's a fantastic base for exploring the island, hands down. But, and there's always a but, St Julian's is lovely, but it isn't for everybody. I can't emphasize that enough. There's a lot of construction going on currently now in St Julian's, and not all the hotels you see online will of course be telling you that. So when booking and trying to choose a hotel, don't be afraid to send an email to the hotel and ask them. Or failing that, just jump onto Facebook and get the latest situation down on the ground. The last thing you want to do is book your hotel, arrive there, and boof, you got construction all around you. Now, Sliema, unlike St Julian's, is a safe option. It's very popular among first-time visitors to Malta. And the reason it's good, because you've got more of a balance. You've got many lively bars and restaurants. It's well connected, but you don't have the full chaos of Patcheville, for example. You won't be hiring a car. Staying in Sliema or St Julian's can save you a lot of travel time. And that's because both are well connected, within reach of the buses, etc. So hotels that I'd shortlist in Sliema and St Julian's, again, we can take a look at these together. So starting off in Sliema, we have the 1926 Le Soleil Hotel. Now, this is highly rated and it has a nice rooftop pool and it is close to the Valletta ferry. The staff are friendly and it's praised for its fantastic beach club. So all in all, this is a very good hotel. I have actually found one or two negative comments, and that is regarding the poor design of the rooms, namely the lack of drawer space, and in some cases no drawers whatsoever. And some people suggest that the electrical sockets are not well placed. Next up is the Waterfront Hotel. Now this offers an unbeatable central location in Sliema and it's praised for its amazing views. Breakfast is also highly rated. And you get complimentary access to the nearby Aqua Luna Lido. One or two of the reviews do suggest that some rooms are prone to traffic noise and that elevator bottlenecks can occur during the peak times, for example at breakfast time. But all in all, the Waterfront is a very good choice and you can't really go wrong. Now we move on to the AX Palace. Now this is another high-end hotel in the heart of Sliema, and it's a very good urban boutique hotel. Again, good staff, good food. One or two of the reviews do point again to overcrowding during the peak afternoon hours at the rooftop pool. Now moving on to the Palazzo Violetta. Now this is another luxurious hotel. Again, forgive me if I pronounced the names a little bit wrong. But this is another boutique hotel and it has a peaceful ambience. The hotel is praised for its independent kitchenette facilities and the high quality breakfast, as well as having friendly staff. The reviews, as you can see, are pretty high across the board. One or two comments I've seen reference the pool area being on the small side. Now, if you're looking for a budget option, then the Blue Bay apartments would generally give you more space for your money and overall better self-catering value compared to a traditional hotel. It's conveniently located near the marina. Note that the breakfast involves an additional fee, and it is in fact served at its nearby sister property, but it is a budget option and one certainly to consider. Now we are going to move on to the St. Julian's area, and we can start with the Hotel Valentina. Now, this is a fantastic value pick, and it's located in the heart of the Patraville area, so you get the energy and the vibrant nightlife nearby. It has very friendly staff, a modern design with a great rooftop pool. The breakfasts are varied and of high quality. Another plus, which is a rarity, is that it does actually offer free on-site parking. One thing to bear in mind is, given it's in the heart of Patraville, you can expect it to be noisier during the night. And currently in 2026, there is some third-party construction going on. And actually, I have to give credit to this hotel because they do, as you can see, mention it at the top of their website. So it's very transparent and honest from them. Now we move on to the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Now, this hotel is another luxury one. So the guests are praising the pristine spa, the rooftop pool and the quality dining. Again, one thing to know is the construction sites nearby, so that may be an issue to some of you. Now we move on to the Intercontinental Malta Hotel. Now, this hotel is praised for its exceptional staff and the breakfast. It has prime access to its own sandy beach club, which is St. George's Bay. It has a year-round heated spa pool and a luxury 10th floor Sky Beach infinity pool. Again, there are some construction sites nearby, so you need to be aware of that. Now we move on to the ME Malta. Now, this one has stellar reviews with a hyper-trendy atmosphere and with the high-end shopping convenience. It's a luxurious hotel with all the trimmings, but being in the heart of the Patraville entertainment district does mean that light sleepers may hear the music from their balconies. So if you're a light sleeper, you need to be aware of that. But the views are stunning, and the hotel, like I say, is highly rated and praised. Next up, we come to the Hilton in Malta. Now, this is still a classic and very popular, luxurious choice for many. It has a fantastic multi-pool complex and is praised for its adult-only beach club area. It's got great cuisine and staff throughout, and because of the popularity, there are some reports claiming there can be bottlenecks during the peak times. All in all, you can't go wrong with the Hilton. It's a top quality and classic hotel, hands down. Now we move on to a family favourite, and that is, of course, Mallia. If you love sandy beaches, this is where I'd look first. Mallia is greener, quieter, and is home to Malta's best beaches. It also feels more relaxed than the central tourist areas. So if you're wanting a loud and vibrant nightlife or a spoilt for choice list of activities, then maybe Mallia isn't the best fit for you. Perfect for families, beach lovers, and anyone hiring a car. Hotels that I book in Mallia, there are several, so let's take a look. So let's start with the Seabank Resort and Spa. Now, this hotel is a highly rated and family-friendly, all-inclusive destination. It's very popular among tourists. It's located across the street from Mallia Bay, Malta's favourite sandy beach. It has a massive outdoor pool complex with lively entertainment and an impressive choice of 6 on-site speciality restaurants. Be aware that this hotel is actually at the base of the bay, so there is a long and steep uphill walk if you want to go to the village shops. Next up is the Radisson Blu Hotel. Now this resort and spa hotel is a luxury destination and it's highly acclaimed for its cliffside location, which provides private access to the Golden Bay Beach. It has outdoor pools, including an adult-only pool, top dining options and friendly staff throughout. I do see a few comments where people make reference to some noise due to the lake. I can tell you, hand on heart, is to go and spend some time there. Not as a tourist. Rent somewhere ordinary, do the weekly shop, figure out how you're going to actually earn an income and survive on a budget. Because the answers you get from that will tell you so much more than what you will get from just visiting for 2 or 3 weeks. It's not the same thing.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our website if you're looking for more information and resources about relocating to Malta, or if you want to book a video consultation or purchase one of our handy ebook guides. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.
I'm going to show you highlights of GEJTANU feast that we had last Sunday at the HAMRUN Club.
Birek intmulja tal-ħolqin kollu għax fil-ġubitek tajta dan l-imbit li qegħdin nofrulek, frotta dija u xogħol il-bniedem minnu jsir għalina x-xogħol tar-ruħ. Birek Alla dej. Itolbu ħuti biex dan is-sagrifiċċju tagħna ikun joġob lill-Alla l-missier illi jista' kollox. يلقى الملايين il-mulaj ma'kom. Barikna għadha li jista' kollox, li ssir dipen l-Ispiritu Santu. Morru fil-paċ ta' Kristu. Il-lejli tajjeb il-kulħadd.
Aħsbu bil-qoddim għal dan it-tur, għax jiddispjaċikom jekk ma tibbukkjawx issa. Trip għal Melbourne, għal festa ta' Santalina ta' din is-sena. Sur Joe BORG tal-Gday Maltaussies Show qed jorganizza dan it-trip bil-coach 5-star, te u kafe u refreshments intom u sejrin li jinkludu free bingos u tieħdu ħafna pjaċir intom u niżlin minn Sydney. Għandkom 3 lieli accommodation fil-Crest Hotel St. Kilda. Buffet dinner il-ġimgħa fil-għaxija fil-Roxbury Park Hotel. Hot buffet breakfast fil-hotel il-ħadd u t-tnejn. Is-sibt morru id-duru fil-Victoria Malta. Buffet lunch is-sibt fil-Roxbury Park Hotel. Il-ħadd id-duru dawra ma' Melbourne. L-ikla ta' nofsinhar jinkludi seafood lunch fil-Roxbury Park Hotel. Entratura għal ballu tal-Festa ta' Santalina li jiġi organizzat dejjem mill-St. Helena Maltese Australian Social Club li jinkludi 4 korsi ta' ikel u koll imbit, birra, soft drinks, te u kafe. Mbagħad jum il-festa il-ħadd tattendu għal qudiesa u il-festa. Wara il-pulċissjoni tal-festa ikun hemm entratura bla ħlas fis-sala għaċ-ċelebrazzjonijiet u sfin. Hemmhekk tiġu servuti ikla u soft drink. Titilqu minn Sydney il-ġimgħa it-28 ta' Awwissu fis-6 ta' filgħodu tluq lura minn Melbourne għal Sydney fit-8 ta' filgħodu it-tnejn il-31 ta' Awwissu. Għal aktar informazzjoni ta' dan it-trip dejjem tistgħu tagħmlu kuntatt dirett ma' Joe BORG fuq 0414 429 391. Sita locations voldieri fejn tpoġġu fil-coach jiġu konfermati meta intom tibbukkjaw. U neċessarju li tħallsu id-deposit ta' $270 u sal-ewwel ta' Lulju tħallsu il-pagament finali li huwa $900. Kunu avżati bil-qudiem li dan it-tur sa jiġi filmjat għax-show ta' Sur Joe BORG, il-Gday Maltaussies Show. U bekk ikun fuq l-internet u fuq il-Facebook. Il-Gday Maltaussies Show tirringrazzjakom li tissapportjaw lil din il-kumpanija. U ringrazzjament mill-promoter u organizer, is-Sur Joe BORG.
O Santa Lina patruna aħna nsommu is-sena kollha kemm hija mimlija imħabba lejk.
Asking expats how they make their money in Malta.
Your name, age, and where are you from?
Hello, my name is Marilla. I'm from Colombia.
How old are you?
I'm 30 years old.
You?
My name is Tarkan Gül. I'm 26 and I'm from Germany and Turkey.
What do you do for work?
I work here in iGaming in a responsible gaming department, but in Germany I was a psychiatric nurse.
Psychiatric nurse and coming to work in the gambling industry.
Yeah, I changed sides.
Something happened in his life, so we have to come back. How about you? What do you do for a living?
Okay, here something completely different than in my country. I come here for studies, and right now I'm from house in a restaurant.
Housing in was it?
Yes, yes, I'm from house in a restaurant.
How long you are in Malta?
Right now it's 7 months.
How did you hear about Malta so that you decided one day to go to Malta?
Yes, I just want to have a break of my past life in Colombia, and I was trying to look for the opportunity to improve my English. And Malta was like one of the first options for South American people.
Do you think about the future? Is it like long-term goal living in Malta or just for short term?
We legit talked about it 10 minutes ago. I see myself living here a bit more. It depends on my passion. Play basketball here, so it depends on if I'm keep on playing here or if my heart follows another country. But yeah.
What's your relation?
We are together.
Okay.
Freshly together.
That's great. So you met each other here in Malta?
Yes, we met.
How it happened? Because there are a lot of foreigners coming here, but they don't know how to socialize.
I went into her restaurant and I looked at her and she smiled at me and I smiled back and here we are talking to a random guy on the phone.
Is it the same restaurant where she works?
Yes.
Wow.
And now I am the favorite customer there. I always go. I ate every burger that's on the menu.
Because it's free.
No, it's not free, but I kind of pay her
Discount.
salary then with that.
This is investment he is doing.
Yes,
Investing
yes,
his
exactly.
body at the same time his girlfriend.
I'm only coming for the food, and now it started a relationship, so it's like...
Right, but give us information as well, because you are not dating with your own people, and rather you chose someone completely from different continent. How it happens, the chemistry or the energy, and also you both living in different country, not your own.
I mean, it's like a connection with the soul rather than the mind. Like you never think about if she's from your country or if she's like we're not like religious or we are not nationalists. So we think about love first, and this is how it happened. It was a soul connection, and here we are, and it feels like never-ending honeymoon phase, kind of.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good luck on your relationship and living.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Well, that's it for today. I'm definitely sure you enjoyed this episode. Also, you got a lot of information from people's perspectives. Not from me, not from the people making video about Malta, but people who moved to Malta from different countries for finding their own path and also long-term living in Malta. Hit the like and subscribe button. Just because of you, I'm making this video. Now it is 105 degrees outside, but we made this successfully. I see you in the next video. Bye.
A lot of you viewers ask me how to make GBEJNIET. I'm going to show you step by step, and this is part 1.
Hello, and welcome to my video called GBEJNIET Tal Bzar, which just means Maltese cheese with pepper. So Malta is that little country in the circle there. It's just south of Sicily in the Mediterranean Sea. It's a little close-up of it. As you can see, not a very large land mass. So this milk was originally made using sheep's milk. I'm using cow's milk because I can't really get sheep's milk where I live. So the cheese themselves, it's a small, soft cheese made in a small mold. It's not aged, it's not pressed, and it's spreadable. You can spread it on crackers like straight out of the mold, and it tastes pretty good. But traditionally, it was used as a method of preserving sheep's milk, and so the traditional way of having GBEJNIET would be to dry it out. That was one step in the preservation, and then to pickle it in vinegar to kill off any other bacteria or molds or funguses. So you would dry it out, pickle it in vinegar, and then basically it turns into a cheese that you can leave unrefrigerated on the countertop in a jar for months and months. My record so far is 5 months without refrigeration, and it was just fine. Tasted just as good as the day I made it. But I don't know. That's only because I ran out. Maybe it could go longer. I'm not sure. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is sterilize your equipment. Put all your stainless steel equipment into the pot that you're going to use. Put about 1 inch of water on the bottom, get it on some heat, and boil that steam it for 15 minutes, no less. And while that is steaming, I'm going to sterilize the cheese molds themselves. I can't put those in the pot or they will melt. So instead I'm spraying them with vinegar, or 5% acetic acid by volume. So yeah, they will melt in that pot. I found that out the hard way. I lost a few of them. Also, while that's happening, I'm going to fill in my cheese log. That's just a record of what I used and how I did it, so that if anything changes, I'll know what I did and I can go back and make other changes. So this is the setup that I like to use. I use a water bath and a sous vide. But by no means do you need to use this method. You can use a simple double boiler method, just taking the pot that you're using and putting on top of another pot and heating it up by steam. The only thing you really want to avoid is putting the pot on direct heat, or the temperature rises too quickly and you can burn the milk. Okay, so the 15 minutes is up, so just be careful taking off that lid. Watch out for that steam. And we're going to take all the equipment and we're going to lay it out on a clean tea cloth. Just be careful because it is still really hot. So what I'm doing now, I'm just cooling down the pot because I don't want to put the milk into it while it's still hot from the steaming. So I'm just cooling it down with some water. Okay, and here's the milk that I'm using today. It's Seal Test 3.25% milk fat whole milk. And yeah, in Ontario, Canada, where I live, the only way you can get 4 liters at a time is in these plastic bags, which makes cutting it and pouring it into there without spilling it a bit of a challenge. But there we go. So the recipe for this cheese is 8 liters of 3.5% whole milk. So if yours is 3.25%, like we get it where I live, stay tuned and I'll show you how to bring that up to 3.5%. 3/4 of a teaspoon of calcium chloride diluted in a half cup of non-chlorinated water. 2 teaspoons of liquid rennet, also diluted in a half cup of non-chlorinated water. Pickling salt, so that's non-iodized salt, no additives. Vinegar, olive oil, and lots of fresh cracked black pepper. Okay, so there's the last bag of milk going in. All right, so to bring the total milk fat up to 3.5%, I'm using 35% heavy cream, and I'm going to use 4.5 tablespoons of that. That will bring the total milk fat up to 3.5%. So now just grab your ladle and give that a nice gentle stir. When you're stirring milk for these recipes for making cheese, never froth it up or stir it too vigorously. You don't want to get a lot of air into it. I just use gentle figure-8 type of strokes, making sure that you push the milk down and pull the milk up. So I'm going to stir that for about 30 seconds. Okay, so put your pot into your water bath or onto your double boiler, whichever you happen to be using. Put a thermometer of some sort in there. I use a digital meat thermometer for basic temperature measurements. Always put a lid on to keep dust and hair from floating into there. And heat the milk up to 13 degrees centigrade. And at 13 degrees, we're going to add our calcium chloride solution. Again, gently stirring in that same figure 8 pattern for 30 seconds. And as always, put the lid back on. So we're going to put the lid back on and we're going to heat that up to 36 degrees Celsius. So there you can see I'm checking with the more accurate thermometer. The meat thermometer only does whole numbers. So there it is at 36, whereas that smaller thermometer, I can see that it goes to 36.6, which is what we're looking. So at 36.6 degrees, we're going to add the liquid rennet solution and stir gently for no more than 1 minute. Because as it starts to coagulate, we don't want to disturb it. So no more than 1 minute we'll stir that for in that nice gentle up and down figure 8 pattern. And then about 50 seconds in, what you're seeing me do right there is just stopping the milk. So I don't want it spinning around when I put the lid on. I want it to be nice and still so that it'll coagulate. So we're going to put the lid back on and we're going to let that set for 30 minutes. We're letting the curd set. So 30 minutes later, take the thermometer out of there, and the next thing we're going to do is check for a clean break in the curd. So I make one cut across the curd, and then I'm just sort of lifting it with the knife and checking to see if it holds together. I wasn't too sure with the knife, so I used the finger method, so you just dip your finger in and pull, and it made a bit of a sloppy break. So every time it does that, we're just going to add 15 more minutes of set time and then check again for a clean break. And this time it broke clean enough. Alright, so as soon as you get a clean break, you're going to cut through the curds, cut through the entire depth, so make sure that knife gets all the way down to the bottom. And we're cutting this into about 3/4 of an inch wide strips. I forgot to slice around the perimeter of the curd inside the pot, so make sure you do that too. What the slicing does is it allows the curd, more of the whey, to seep out of the curd as we let it set. So the next timer is now 2 hours and 30 minutes. We're going to let that curd sit in there and shrink for 2.5 hours. Alright, so 2.5 hours later, as you can see, we take the lid off and the curd has shrunk. That's why there's now spaces in between. So we take the pot over to our molds and we just take a slotted ladle and start scooping the curds into the molds. Now the curd is going to be pretty loose, so just be gentle as you can with it. Try and get as much curd as you can into each mold, and try and let some of the whey, as much of the whey as you can, drip out as you're transferring it. Now it is pretty loose, so don't be alarmed if it, it falls apart or some of it goes right through the mold. Fill them up best you can, and you're going to want to fill each cheese mold to almost overflowing, because that curd is going to set down into cheese that's only about a 1/2 inch thick at the most, so it does a lot of settling. So there you can see that I am filling them up quite a bit. So this is what it looks like in the pot as I'm scooping out the curds. Now I've tried in the past to dump the whey out first, but because the curds are so loose, I found that mostly what was happening was the curd was just seeping out with the whey, so this seems like the best method I could find. All right, so this is just a clip of the setup that I use. I just use a Tupperware container with a cooling rack, and I set my molds on top of that, and they drip away. All right, next comes the pickling salt. So we're going to take a very generous amount of pickling salt, and we're going to sprinkle it on top of each cheese. Be very generous with that salt. The salt serves a few functions. It preserves the cheese, so it prevents mold and bacteria growth while they're dripping. Gives the cheese some flavor, and helps to draw the whey out of the curds a little bit more. All right, next thing to do is just get one of those fruit fly covers for your fruits and your salads that you use in the summertime. Cover those up, and you're going to let them sit there and drip for 8 hours. Okay, so here we are 8 hours later, and we're going to do the first flipping. So make sure you wash your hands really well before doing this, because you're going to have to touch the cheese and you don't want to get any molds or bacteria on them to grow. And when you do the first flipping, you're going to notice that the curd is still pretty loose, so it tends to want to break up a little bit, so just be gentle as you flip it over. So just flip it over right onto your hand, okay, and gently place the mold back over the other side of the cheese and kind of flip it back in there.
Discovering GHASRI with the local traveler, the talented AGIUS.
The local traveler jixtieq jirringrazzja lil Visit Malta, Visit Gozo, Enemed, Ministeru għall-Ekonomija, l-Intrapriża u Proġetti Strateġiċi, GHASRI Insurance u Ministeru għall-Inklużjoni u l-Volontarjat. Fit-tramuntana net ta' Għawdex insibu wiet l-Għasri, wieħed mill-akbar ġojjelli naturali ta' din il-gżira, li għaxqek fil-bnazzi u jisaħħrek aktar fil-Maltem. Kif se narawh illum? Min ġol villaġġ tal-Għasri ġewwa Għawdex. Niltaqa' ma' George Attard, bonġu, kif inti?
Mhux ħażin. Appart il-Maltemp.
Le, ma il-qajtni ġo pjazza bil-parroċċa u b'din is-siġra pittoreska illi dejjem kull darba li niġi ġol villaġġ nieħdi la ritratt. Araw xi ġmiel. George, din is-siġra.
Din is-siġra għandha storja warajja. Nistgħu ngħidu l għandha iżjed minn 100 sena l-awrikarja. Ma nistgħux nimmaġinaw il-pjazza, din il-pjazza rjuża mingħajr is-siġra għaliex kienet hawn kważi biex ngħid hekk qabel il-pjazza. Il-pjazza hawnhekk way back fl-1903 meta bdiet tinbena l-Knisja kienet pratikament għalqa. Għalqa, eżatt. Għalqa bil-ħitan tas-sejjieħ. U jixdu dawn ir-ritratti. Jiġifieri jeżistu ritratti ta' dak iż-żmien u l-awrikarja kienet diġà imħawla hemmhekk, kienet għadha żgħira, ftit piedi, għolja, u jiġifieri rnexxiela tikber, tgħix taħta hemm abbondanza kbira tal-ilma għax hemm shelter bl-ilma, allura qiegħu tista' tieħu l-ilma minn hemm u hija assoċjata mal-pjazza, mar-raħal, okay, u anke mal-Knisja.
Il-parroċċa tagħkom hija mibnija minn idejn in-nies, minn nies tal-Għasri bil-volontarjat fil-bidu tas-seklu 18, kont qed tgħid li ġifieri hija pjuttost riċenti.
Eżatt, ma nistax nimmaġina kieku llum l-istess xogħol ħajsir bil-volontarjat. Imma immorru lura fuq 100 sena, nistgħu ngħidu li r-raħal kollu kien mobilizzat fil-bini tal-Knisja. Saħansitra anki tfal u n-nisa kienu jgħinu fil-ġar tal-ġebel billi kienu jgħinu billi jimbottaw il-korrettuni, jġibu il-ġebel minn barriera li teżisti hemmhekk lejn in-naħħa ta' Wied il-Għasri. Ġifieri raħal kollu kien kważi mobilizzat.
Hawnhekk lejn hawn aħna ħammorru lejn il-famuż Wied il-Għasri li n-nies ifittxu ħafna kull min jiġi t-turisti, il-Maltin. Hawnhekk il-pajsaġġ tal-Għasri u Wied il-Għasri li huwa famuż ħafna kulħadd jiġi u jmur dik il-passiġġata għal-wied qiegħed bejn iż-żewġ għoljiet, l-għolja ta' Żebbuġ u l-għolja tal-Arb. Bħala żona hija pjuttost kbira għal fatt li huwa l-iżgħar.
Eżatt. Bħala popolazzjoni huwa l-iżgħar raħal f'Għawdex u f'Malta nistgħu ngħidu, ma bħala area l-isproll tiegħu, jiġifieri huwa mifrux m'għandek mill-konfini tar-Rabat tal-Viktorja sa Wied il-Għasri, jiġifieri area li hija estensiva immens. U bħala lokalizzazzjoni l-Għasri huwa fil-majestral estrem ta' Għawdex. Okay, ġifiri din naraw li hawnhekk.
Ġifiri jaħkmu r-riħ.
Esposti għall-elementi tan-natura biex ngħidu.
Eżatt. Issa la qegħdin hawn nżuru naqra il-parroċċa li hija dedikata lil Corpus Christi, hija naħseb il-qofol tal-villaġġ u tan-nies u x'vera.
Eżatt, aħna il-ħajja soċjali hawn l-Għasri dejjem kien tiddur mal-Knisja, kull ma jsir bħala attivitajiet mhux biss reliġjużi imma wkoll soċjali kollox idur mal-Knisja.
Kif baqa' bħala poplu l-Għasri? Huwa ikkaratterizzat minn nies li ilhom u għadhom jgħixu hawn?
Mela, mistoqsija interessanti ħafna Kler, għax bħalma kien hemm il-fenomenu tal-emigrazzjoni fil-ħula oħra fi żminijiet fil-ħamsinijiet u fis-sittinijiet, dak ukoll mess lill-Għasri, ġifieri kellek ġenerazzjonijiet sħaħ ta' nies, ta' familji, ta' żgħażagħ li emigraw lejn il-Kanada, lejn l-Ingilterra u speċjalment mill-Għasri lejn l-Awstralja. Illum dawn the generations, it-tfal ta' tfal jgħixu l-Awstralja kultant jiġu għal Festa, ġifieri żammaw dik il-konnessjoni ma' l-Għasri ħafna minnhom. Fi żmien kien wkoll anke skola primarja tal-Gvern, dik kienet għalqet imbagħad fl-1971 għax il-popolazzjoni tal-Għasri baqgħet ma kibritx. Ġifieri hawnhekk qatt ma kien hawn residential estate tal-Gvern u ma nafx jien nistgħu ngħidu li forsi nazzarda ngħid li sa tmeninijiet biex ngħid hekk kien hawn jisu stigma, l-Għasri l-aħħar post kien iġordi kien naqra stigma. Għammar Ġurdan dak l-aħħar post, illum bil-kontra, illum l-Għasri ġie wieħed mill-isbaħ postijiet ġo Malta u Għawdex huwa mfittex mhux biss għal vaganzi imma wkoll għandek nies li ġew jgħixu residenti hawn.
Għax għandek il-kwiet.
Għax għandek il-kwiet li huwa l-iktar ħaġa importanti għal kwalità tal-ħajja.
Ġifieri din il-parroċċa li mbniet fis-seklu 20 qegħdin ngħidu, jiġifieri fin-19 fil-bidu tagħha u 19.
Kombinazzjoni llum hija l-anniversarju il-100 sena, il-108 sena tal-anniversarju tal-konsagrazzjoni tal-Knisja. Kien miraklu, kif konna qegħdin ngħidu, għaliex anke min-naħa tal-isqof ta' dak iż-żmien lill-leaders tal-Għasri biex ngħidu hekk li kienu Dun Giuseppe Vella u waraħ Dun Karm Karwana u Dun Giuseppe Buttigieg li kienu jmexxu il-bini ta' dan il-Knisja kemm ma kienu xaqtawlhom qalbhom. Intom raħal żejr, raħal ta' bdiewa kif jista' jkun tibnu din il-Knisja. Kien kważi miraklu u rnexxielhom.
Allura, mbagħad kif bdew ġejjin ir-rikkezzi f'din il-parroċċa? Naf li għandkom it-titular ta'
Pisani, tal-Azzru Pisani. Fil-fatt l-ewwel opri li saru kienu il-pitturi, il-kwadri, diversi kwadri li għaw. Bizmin qabel it-tieni gwerra dinjija imbagħad sar l-irħam tal-art. Dak sar fit-tletinijiet. Fis-sittinijiet sar it-zoklu imbagħad u l-kor tal-irħam u saru l-bankijiet u diversi altari, dak saru dejjem qabel u ftit il-Knisja bdiet tintrama. Interessanti li wieħed ikun jaf li din hija kważi replika tal-Knisja ta' Sant Wistin tal-Belt. Jekk tpoġġihom fejn xulxin, dawn huma qishom tewmin.
Faċċata tal-parroċċa u dal-istage ħelu vera gustajtu. Tajċ kemm il-persuna diġà nsertajt tistenna tal-linja. Għax hawnhekk ġol Ghasri qed għandek ħafna nies illi jużaw it-trasport pubbliku biex imorru jagħmlu dik il-qadja tar-Rabat 5 minuti bot.
Issa hawnhekk ġejjin fan-niċċa magħrufa bħala n-niċċa tal-Unzjata. Tmur lura għall-1773 kif turi l-plakka kommemorattiva. Kienet hawnhekk qabel il-bini fil-fatt.
Ħafna kemmi partikolari u tinduna li hija
nistgħu ngħidu fil-fatt li l-istruttura tagħha hija partikolari, hija unika ħafna, mibnija sopportjata fuq 3 kolonni tal-ġebel u fiha ġib l-immaġini tal-Unzjata. Inċident partikolari marbut ma' din niċċa seħ meta kienet qiegħda tinbina l-Knisja parrokjali.
I trust that you enjoyed the show, and until we meet again next week, God bless. Good day, Maltese show. For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe BORG on 0414 429 391.